And here we are, episode 50 episodes. That's quite a long time. We've been playing for over a year now. It still amazes me. We're still playing the same campaign or adventure path, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, folks, we're about to get started here. We're going to pick up where we left off last time, right at the tip-top of a combat. We just finished round 1 last week, and we're about to pick up from there. We do have Eric tonight, which means Cassandra is with the party. She's been following behind a short distance in the shadows this whole time, keeping a watch on the rear in case of an ambush, which didn't transpire. But the party has been engaged. She's about to jump into action starting on round 2 at the top of the steps, as you can see on the map. So that's where we are there. And I guess I'll recap this. I'll do that, and then we'll do the introduction. Everybody starts with 1 hero point by default, so give yourself 1 hero point. I also updated your experience points from the last session. Really didn't do much. Got a little bit. After returning to Otari with the icons, they brought those icons and gave them back to those that were holding on to them previously, except for the brooch. The brooch was the one icon that was gifted to the companions by the mayor, and I believe Althea actually gave that as a gift herself to Arthurian. The hunter's brooch. Quite an honorable piece of gear to have. And the companions got a good night's rest, recuperated, got some new spells in memory, those that could cast spells, and decided to head off back into the gauntlight right away while the barrier is down, which they successfully accomplished in that previous episode. Boy, I totally bypassed the battle at the shrine, didn't I? Yeah, I did. There was a big fight with wights and all these other crazy things, hands running around the floor, jumping on people, trying to grab throats. It was terrible. But the companions overcame all that prior to going to Otari. And they returned the sword. The thieves' tools were gifted to the Menemes family, who runs the museum. The only icon of Otari, the rogue, member of the Rose Guard, that they have. He gifted that to the mayor. And yeah, the next day the party went back in, and here we are. We are on the 30th of Farast. You guys don't take long of a break. And we're back into it once again. Sorry. Got a dry throat. I must have been talking a lot. And, making your way through the various levels of the gauntlet, you have found yourself on what looks like the 5th level so far from the surface. You descended these 15-foot wide steps beyond this, what was a barrier before you took it down. But passing down these steps, you increasingly heard a thumping noise. A thump, 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 that sounded very much like a heartbeat. Strange moaning sounds were getting closer. And as you stepped down below the steps on the surface of this floor, you saw in front of you 10, 20, 30 feet in front of you. 15 feet, not 30. What looks like this railing, an old rusty railing going around in a large circle. And as you drew close to this railing, there you could see what looks like a bottomless pit into the blackness. Not even Arthurian could see the bottom of this thing. Mesmerized almost, staring into this black abyss, you heard sounds behind you from each side, and also in front of you. Strange noises, gibbering noises, moaning sounds. And it was just then, with a scream from Althea, you saw them appear from the shadows. These horrendous, menacing-looking creatures. 2 of these were directly behind you. Both Agatha and Althea saw them and were confronted immediately by these nasty, horrifying sights. Directly in front of you, near Arthurian leading the way, and Sheppy following close behind, you saw another creature, a blob-type creature, something that was someone identified as some kind of gibbering mass, a gibbering mouther, as they are known. Eyeballs, mouths, teeth, tongues, teeth. Just this big mass of flesh, and it began to move forward slowly towards Arthurian. And that's where we're going to pick up. After the initial swings and screams, we're going to start with round 2. And we're going to start with Smug. Smug being the gibbering mouther. Okay? Before we do that, let's introduce everybody who's with us tonight. And Kyle, by the way, should be joining us sometime tonight before the session goes too deep. But he's going to be joining us soon. So, before we get into this, let's introduce the players. And first up is going to be Dizzy. Dizzy, introduce your character, yourself, and also I have a question for you and for everybody tonight, okay? And that question is, of all the companions that you've met so far, and for you, Agatha, you really haven't known them too much, the companions, but you've learned so much about them in the past. You've heard so much about them, and now you're in their presence. Of all the companions, which one do you admire the most? Which one do you trust the most? Or otherwise look up to in some way? Of all the companions, who would that be? You're all a bunch of heroes. So Agatha, let's start with you. Introduce yourself and let's talk about the companions. Hold on, Dizzy. Hold on. Hold on to that thought. Sorry. Go ahead and say something. Nope. Sorry, folks. Got a little glitch here. Trying to think what in the world I did here. Let's move this up like this. Go ahead and try now. Say something. Nope, it's not picking up your voices. Sorry, folks. Give me a moment here as I try and rectify this situation. I don't know what happened. Now I'm not capturing the Discord voices. Let's see. This should work. How about now? Go ahead and say something.
How about now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's showing up on my OBS. Can you guys in YouTube hear Dizzy? Yep, they can hear you now. One question though, is it too loud? Because I have this cranked. Go ahead and say something, Dizzy, and they'll let me know if you're too loud.
Alright, can y'all hear me?
Just go ahead and pick up where you left off. Sorry about that, Dizzy. Says you're very loud. Go ahead and pick up where you left off, introducing yourself and the character, Dizzy. I got it.
I would have to say it be Althea, because considering her height and considering that she's dealing with somebody that is complete opposite of the light and how she's dealt with so much good in the world, and now she is confronted with somebody that is completely of shadows and darkness. Agatha admires her because she hasn't tried killing her.
Not yet.
I missed all of that. My headset died.
Boy, it's not a good night tonight. What is happening?
Oh my god, I'm like, wait, how come I don't hear anything anymore? I should be good though.
Okay. I think I got the Discord voices at a nice little volume. I'm not sure. They'll let me know in the YouTube. Everything seems okay as far as I can tell. Okay, Dizzy. Dizzy, of course, is playing our vampiric witch in the Companions, a new member of the group. She's quite fond of the Companions, has learned much about them, but she's even fonder of the gauntlight and its mystery. She's been studying it. This is her big chance to learn more. And we talked a little bit about that in the past episode, how Farley Tell came in and introduced her to the Companions and gave her a shot to get in with the Companions. It's essentially what's going on here. And she's been kind of tagging along with the Companions now and seeing what's going on here. And yeah, more on that as we get along. All right, Althea, since your headset just fixed up, Rachel, I should say, how about you? Introduce your character and tell us about which of the Companions, if any at all, you find the most admirable, trustworthy. Out of all these heroic companions, who would that be? Go for it, Rachel.
Yeah, so I'm Rachel. I play Althea. She's a gnome cleric. She's been with the party for a very long time, so this answer could be many people, or a singular person from a large group. And normally I'd answer with Sheppy, but she also understands Sheppy enough that he would just maybe ditch her for a half-decayed chicken wing. Like, no. Gonna. So, after adjusting her answer, she'd probably pick Arthurian because she's traveled with him the most. He always seems genuinely, scared, or not scared, but genuinely concerned about her well-being as well as the others in the group.
Okay. Thanks for that, Rachel. Jesse, you're up next. What's going on?
Hey guys, I'm Sheppy. By now you know who I am. I am the fire sorcerer. And after the last comment there, he may change his answer as well. But yeah, he does look up to Althea ever since the episode in the cemetery and everything that transpired there. Sheppy has learned that Althea has single-handedly kept him alive through all the trials and tribulations of the gauntlight, and he really looks up to Althea because of that, and knows that Althea would have his back no matter what, as well as Arthurian, but Althea, he has more of a connection.
Yeah, we go way back too, to the graveyard.
Yeah, original characters.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, and Althea really owes a lot to Sheppy too, because he really saved her with that.
Yep.
But would Sheppy just swipe, pass her over in order for a chicken wing? When it came to it, I must know.
Maybe not a chicken wing, but maybe a dead fish.
50-50. We'll see how he's feeling that day. But that's why we love Sheppy.
Awesome. I remember that episode too. It was a very memorable episode where Sheppy and was introduced along with Althea. I don't think they're both introduced. I think somebody was introduced. I think it was you, Sheppy. And that was a good episode. Eric, our newest companion, our newest member here, playing a monk tonight. What's going on, my friend? And I know you're kind of new. Who do you admire? Your character?
So I'm Eric. I play the young monk Cassandra. Cassandra's pretty impressed with all the heroes for different reasons. The one she doesn't know the best is Chapt, but Arthurian's bravery / recklessness in running up front sometimes scares Cassandra a little bit in terms of what's seen as a lack of discipline. But definitely it's the gnome cleric Althea. She is bright and has made Cassandra feel the most welcome in the group. And just the idea for Cassandra that having faith in another being can grant you power is just really incredible. Cassandra doesn't have faith in other things other than trying to have in her own skills. That's what her grandfather taught her. You have to be self-reliant. So the idea that you can cause miracles by being faithful to another being is just super interesting to Cassandra, and she wants to know more. So that's the person that she either looks up to or is the most fascinated by in the companions.
Excellent. All right, so we did our brief recap, got our introductions out of the way, and you know what that means. Time to roll some dice. And we're starting off with combat. You guys just turned level 5, and you're just stretching your legs now, so you got some new abilities, among other things, to try out. We just did round 1. It's looking pretty good. Arthurian's up there with his magical warhammer and shield in hand. He's making good time with this gibbering mouther. Sheppy at his side, Althea behind Sheppy. You're being confronted by these other moaning type creatures. They look like slugs with arms and tentacles. They're terrible. They're big too. And we also have the monk Cassandra about to make an appearance as she's joined the combat in round 2. And Agatha preparing her spells. Where's your staff, Agatha? Do you have that with you and at the ready?
She should have it.
Okay, make sure you point that out. It should be on your sheet. Make sure it's held in at least one hand. That's a very useful item, that staff you got from Farley Tell. More on that we shall see. Alright, we're going into round 2. Smug. Smug is currently off kilter. He's basically prone. He's going to stand up. Or catch his balance. So, let's do that. Now, When he does this, Arthurian, because he's not here playing at the moment, does have the opportunity to make an attack of opportunity, and I'm going to say he would take it. So let's make an attack of opportunity with his warhammer against this gibbering mouther. He just hits. He's going to roll some damage. This is a magical warhammer. He lets out a battle cry in dwarven tongue and lays into this pile of flesh. 12 points of damage. And that is a warhammer. Okay, bludgeoning damage. Okay.
Yeah, we learned about that. No blades against that thing.
And it does particularly more damage than you'd expect as slime bursts from the creature. Splashes the wall nearby. It makes a screeching noise in pain. Alright, so he used his reaction. Now what does he do? The creature is going to back away. Slowly. Near where it was first encountered, about a little over 10 feet away, you see it slide back away towards this open doorway. You can see it now. There is actually an open door, and it's standing right in front of it, at about 15 feet distant. This creature is not looking good. And all of a sudden it begins to pulsate. And through several of its mouths, you see, if there was cheeks on this thing, you could see them, and they bubble outward, and as they do, the mouths close, and they're pointing in the direction of Arthurian. Suddenly, they burst open, and this yellow-greenish slime comes pouring out towards Arthurian. Oh, ignore that. Ignore that. That don't count. Or wait a minute, does it? He stood up, backed away. No, this is his first attack. That does count. 28. That's going to hit. 24. It's going to be normal damage. 12 points of acid damage. I need Arthurian to make a savings throw here. As the acid splashes up in his face, he's going to have to make a fortitude save. Let me put that in the chat. And let's roll for him. He fails with -7.
Would he hero point it?
I'm not going to use his hero point.
Fate.
So
He should be on about like 40 minutes.
Alright, that's good. That's just a normal failure, so he's going to be dazzled.
Got slime in the eye.
Yeah, he got some acid in the eyes. Ah! He lets out a scream.
In his
Althea!
beard.
Althea, where are you? I can't see you. Dazzled. Everything is concealed from you. This means you must succeed a DC 5 flat check. So everything is a blur to our dwarven warrior. And that finishes the gibbering mouther. We're going to go to Sheppy. You're up next.
Okay. I am going to drop a flaming sphere in the Mouther's square.
What
I will,
level?
the
Second or third?
second.
Okay. There's the sphere.
Nice.
Holy moly.
Whoops.
He's on fire.
Yeah, that's
More
the wrong
effective
one.
than we thought.
Like,
Oh, there you go. That's
All right, so on his square.
yep.
Ah! All right, before.
Okay,
Hold on.
it's through.
Hold on. Hold on. Before we go any further, Sheppy, I need you to make a couple saves. You should have done this at the start of your turn. All right. So before you pull this off, I need you to make some saves. Because as this encounter gets more involved here, you start to notice the mouths on this thing. Their lips are constantly flapping away, and you hear this churning of sounds coming from it. It's very discerning. Just flapping away, and it's very disturbing. Go ahead and make a fortitude save.
a fortitude save?
Fortitude save. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong guy. Sorry. Go ahead and make a
Will
will
save, right?
will save. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, my mouse is like hovering the will, and you threw me for a loop. I'm like, what?
I put that in the chat. You can probably just click on it if you're clicked on Sheppy. It's okay.
Next time I'll do it. I think
Okay.
I was clicked on the sphere. There we go.
18 is a failure. You are confused for one round by the sounds that this gibbering creature is making. You are confused. Did you put that on his token?
She got it.
Okay.
I did.
Step ahead of me.
Wait, why is the mouther confused? And why is Sheppy flat? Oh, maybe the flat-footed comes with confused. Yeah, there you go.
Is it because of the token? The little burnt
It might be.
the sphere? Can the sphere? Yeah,
Oh, you can put effects on the sphere.
Yeah, you can. I didn't know that. Cool. Anyway,
Well, now the mouther ran away.
we'll
There
put
it is.
we'll put the sphere back here because it's just a reference. Let me get that out of here.
Okay.
I don't want them on the same square. Causes problems. All right, we know where it is.
Yep.
All right, so that's your first one. So you become confused at all these gibbering noises coming from this gibbering mouther. But I'm not
I was
done.
confused too.
But I'm not done because you also hear this constant moaning sound that's very off-putting coming from behind you. You need to make I think this should be a fortitude save. It's a sickly, disgusting sound.
And Sheppy, confused means that you're flat-footed. I put it in the chat, but I don't know if sharing the screen, if the quality is good enough to read it. But essentially, you could end up hitting an ally.
Oh God.
Let me write this down. No worry. You pay no attention to the moaning sounds coming from behind you. Now go through with your flaming sphere. Now again, you are confused, correct?
Yep, but this one there's no roll for me. I just
Right.
put it in a square.
Here's what happens. You're flat-footed. You don't treat anyone as your ally, and you can't use reactions, delay, or ready. All of your actions are determined by the GM. You use your actions to attack or cast offensive cantrips. The target is determined randomly by the GM. If you have no other targets, you attack yourself. Okay? So, forget
this
it.
happened before or after the flaming sphere?
This happened at the start of your turn. So before you actually cast or attempted to
Alright.
cast the sphere. So we'll forget
Okay,
that
then
that
I'm gonna
even...
put your spells back to
Yeah.
get you your
Okay.
second level spell back.
Okay. And we'll make the flaming sphere invisible.
All right. How do I get rid of it? Can I make an action to get rid of it, or do I have to wait?
You have to, well, you get, if somebody attacks you and does damage, you get a DC 11 roll to see if you snap out of it. That's about it. You could end up attacking yourself, but that's not going to be in this case because there's other targets around you, and I'll determine which one it is randomly. But what do you have in your hands? Anything that you could attack with?
no.
What do you got?
Just my fists.
All right, let me look at your character.
Yeah, so the way it sounds, you either use your actions to strike or attack or cast offensive cantrips. Or use
Defensive
other
cantrips?
actions. Offensive cantrips.
Okay.
Okay. Let's take a look
And
at his
if-
cantrips.
Yeah, and if not, then it says the GM can determine whether or not you draw your weapon to then attack. So you could draw your crossbow and just waste all your bolts if you have any, or use your dagger, or if in your confused state you use your unarmed strike. Same with your, like, I don't know, you could just he can do anything. He has 3 actions.
All right. Since I'm in melee range, I'll try gouging claw.
So what you
See
do,
what happens.
is you start going through the motions with your hands. Flames erupt from your fingertips, and you look towards... Let me see. I'm going to say there's 2 targets here. The most immediate ones. Give me a number from 1 to 6, Althea. As Sheppy launches.
4, but it also includes the enemies too. So it's not just 2 targets.
That's true.
Be kind
That's
to
true.
us, Sheppy.
That's true. That's very true. There is a lot
We
of
want a
potential
happy
targets.
accident.
There's a lot of potential targets here. Okay. Let me see. 1, 2, 3,
Well, if
4,
his thing
5.
can reach all of us, there's 2,
6.
4, 6, and I don't think Cassandra's in reach, or if
No.
Sheppy even knows about her. So
It's only-
you could really just randomly assign a number to each of us, and then ask, or like roll a d6 or something.
All right, I rolled a d6, and it's going to be on our good friend Arthurian. Produce flame.
No,
Oh no.
he already got splashed.
Shh, don't tell him.
Touch the baby.
Was it an attack roll? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Armor class of 24. So that misses.
Good thing.
So it
Ew.
ricochets off the far wall. Flames everywhere. You got one more action. Let's see what we do here.
Sheppy thought he was aiming at it.
You draw,
Arthurian's too close.
Getting away.
you draw your dagger.
Mrs. Gauntlet.
All right, so you got a dagger out. All right, you're done. Narcissistic. Which one is he?
One on the right, I think. Yeah.
This one's moaning away. He's going to reach out and claw at Arthurian before anything else happens here. 26, that's enough to hit armor class 24. Going to roll some damage as these claws rake Arthurian's flesh, tearing armor. 18 points of damage. Slashing. All right. And he's going to take a 5-foot step. Agatha, give me a number from 1 to 6.
1.
He's looking at you, Agatha. It's going to be a hit. Second here, did I forget something? No. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, you're taking 12 points of slashing damage. Next is the one across from him, on the other side of Althea. You are now flanked. This creature is suffering from Ray of Frost, which I think is over at the start of my turn or the end of my turn. When does that go away? Put Ray of Frost.
I think it affects his movement, right? So it wouldn't be
Minus
at
10.
the start of his turn, because then it wouldn't really have an effect.
It's true. All right, so he's going to take advantage of this situation. He's going to rake at Althea.
Oh, dang
Oh.
it! You didn't give me enough time.
Go ahead, make your roll. Go ahead.
I
I'll
was going
re-roll
to
it.
do my reaction.
That's right. That's right. It's a new turn.
Was there a status on there? Because I know I did it last time, but let me put it back in, wherever it is.
Fun with 5th level characters.
Yeah, I'm attacked by a creature that I haven't acted hostile towards, which is correct. I don't think I have physically attacked or, you know.
You haven't.
Okay, until the beginning of its next turn. Okay, so I would have to use it again if he attacked me again. Alright, so I'll roll that diplomacy. So that was against his will DC.
Okay, that is just... He just passed it. So
it's a -2 penalty to damage.
creature
And all
takes...
strikes. Oh, sorry, it's a -4 to damage because I'm an expert.
Ah. And what's this creature's name? Zealous.
What did you do?
Yeah, please
I
describe.
cowered in fear, being
puppy
surrounded
eyes.
by these two creatures. And every time she does this, there's an ounce of truth in there. She's not just faking it to win over some empathy from these creatures. She's
Could you attack that?
holds up her arms and cowers behind them.
Look at those eyes. Come on.
Don't hurt me.
Who, me? Okay. So -4.
Is this a gnome racial ability?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that. It's a good one.
So there's a -4 in its damage. Alright.
Okay.
Let's roll the strike again. Then we'll roll damage. If it hits. 15. Nope, misses. And how long does this apply?
Until the start of its next turn.
It's so hard. It's so difficult. With that, we're going to go to Arthurian again. Alright, so his shield is down at this point. He turns abruptly around after being hit by this acid, wiping it off his face. He's looking left and right. Flames go roaring over his head. He's not sure what that was. But he sees the creature attacking Althea and hears the screams of pain coming from her. Actually, it missed. There was no screams of pain, just pouting sounds coming from Althea. I've got you,
Sounds
Althea!
Stress.
I've got you! And he looks towards the creature, straight in front of him. He attacks with his axe. Or his warhammer, sorry. Well, let me make a flat check. That's the flat check. No, it isn't. Let's make the flat check first. Sorry. And then I'll re-roll that. Alright, so he can see the creature. Now let's make his attack. There's a plus 16 on this. Wow. Let's see if that's a crit. It is. That is a crit.
Yes.
Rah!
Juicy.
22 points, and the creature is knocked prone.
Ooh.
That hurt. And he slams into this creature with his hammer, not once, but several times, knocking this creature off its feet and onto its side. It's on the floor before him. He's got a position to strike once again, and he does so. $27. That is another critical hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, knocking him prone helped. Makes him flat-footed. So his armor class is even lower. So, yeah, he got another critical hit. Wow. Let's see what he does. Oh! 10 points. This thing screams in pain as this ichor comes from its body from the damage that he's putting upon this creature. Flesh is tearing under this hammer. And he's got one more, but he's not going to use that. He's going to... I've got you, Althea! And he raises his shield. He's done. Going to go to Cassandra. You're up. Now... I've got your token way at the top of the steps there, so you're just entering the fray now, and you're not sure exactly what's happening. So go for it. You're up.
Okay. Seeing poor Althea flanked by these two crazy monsters. She's gonna charge down to here. Oh, can I still move my token when the game is paused?
No. Give me a second here. My bad.
Oh, and
Go ahead.
make sure you change Arthurian's raising his shield, not the creature.
What's the matter with me tonight? I don't know.
He doesn't need that AC bonus.
Definitely does.
Okay, and so I'll move over there and I will launch a flurry of blows on this monstrosity. This will be bludgeoning damage. Here's the first attack. the second one. Wow.
First one hits.
Oh, it does. Okay.
With stunning fit. Yay.
Wow. 4 damage. And it has to make a DC 21 Fortitude save.
4 damage is better than no damage.
I suppose.
Failure.
All right, so he's stunned 1. I have 1 action left. I know this is normally not the thing to do, but I'm going to try. One more attack. Good lord. Well, maybe next turn I'll roll in the double digits.
So describe how you come down charging off these steps and you lay into this thing with screams and kicks and punches.
So it's down on the ground, and she doesn't recognize... At first, the reason why she missed the second one, she's like, what kind of anatomy does this thing have?
Yeah.
So she's punching at the places where it should be weak spots or pressure points, and it's not having any effect. Even though it was prone on the ground in front of her, she wasn't nearly as effective as she hoped to be. But she did manage to stun it with the one good first hit on the side of the head.
Yeah, and as you lay
The rest of her misses are due to her disgust.
And as you lay into it with a series of blows and elbows, you hear it intake as you hit a soft spot. It goes, and it seizes up for a moment, like it doesn't know what's happening, and it stops its moaning briefly. You have stunned it. That's the end of your turn?
It is.
Althea, you see your friend Cassandra suddenly make an appearance from behind you. You knew she was back there, rushing into the action, and after seeing Arthurian pour down vengeance on this creature lying on the floor, wheezing, about to be finished off, you do have this other creature just like it, right in front of you.
Yes, so I hear Cassandra run down the stairs. I feel the wind, that little gust she creates as she comes up to the party.
Yeah.
But Althea is worried about Sheppy. She just saw him try to light Arthurian aflame. She's gonna smack him. Snap out of it! So I'm just gonna do an unarmed strike. And if it's not like a get out of it, more like a slap shame on you. He's our friend. What are you doing?
Why do I have a dagger in my hand?
You're saying this in Goblin. Nobody understands you.
So I rolled a 19, or I got a 19 in total.
Are you striking the one that's on the ground prone?
No, I'm striking Sheppy.
Oh.
To wake me up.
Yeah, I just saw him produce flame
You hit. You do
on
damage.
Arthurian. It didn't hit, but she's like, what is going on? So she's like, hey, focus.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Lucky for you, it's a 1d4 minus 1 damage, so it's minimum 1 damage. Non-lethal.
Oh.
What's that
So
for?
I did the minimum amount of damage. But that's what I do towards Sheppy. Sheppy, snap out of it! What are you doing? That's Arthurian, you're not attacking the creature! We need you!
Alright. 1 point of damage on Sheppy. And as soon as you've done
His
that,
first damage.
Yep.
Fight.
make a DC 11 flat check to see if he shakes off the confusion.
Oh.
19.
It looked like it was a 1 for a second. I'm like, oh no, please.
Scary moment. Scary
I
moment.
can't even see those dice.
Yeah, they're hard to see. Red and black. All
I
right,
know, I'll
so
have to change it.
no confusion. That's gone.
And with that, she's going to cast a spell, targeting the creature that's here.
Okay, before we go any further, before I forget, at the start of your turn, see, we did it for Sheppy. Now we got to do it for Arthurian, but let's go to Cassandra first. Cassandra, you need to make 2 savings throws. All right, give me a Fortitude save, DC 17, because of the moaning sounds, the sickly sound that just turns your stomach as you come down these steps. This happens. Now, this is important. 28, no problem.
Critical success.
No problem. You are good to go for the rest of the combat. Althea, you also make one.
You said that was will, right?
This one is going to be
Or
fortitude. You are going to be sickened 1. Okay. And Cassandra, I also need you to make a will save. And this is from the gibbering, confusing sounds coming from the creature as you get closer to it.
20.
You are confused. For 1 round, I'll put it on your token for you. So for 1 round, you are confused. Okay, and Althea, you make that same will save as well. To see if you become confused. Yeah, I can't read them either. 15.
Good thing they're listed in the chat. If I failed that, I would like to hero point it.
Okay, go ahead. You failed it. All right, you're good for the rest of the combat.
See, that does kind of change her plans a little bit. She rushes back, being sandwiched between the two. She feels uneasy, even if one of them's laying on the ground. Arthurian? Oh, you're doing his fortitude save. I'm like, what? I moved. What's Arthurian doing?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So, after slapping Sheppy, she retreats, and it's in order to get rid of sickened condition, I have to retch, or
Yeah.
what is it?
You spend an action retching.
All right, then that is what she will do to get rid of this.
And that retching allows you a fortitude save against what you just rolled against. So go ahead and make another fortitude save if you retch.
Okay.
We're getting confused here. There's a lot going on.
A lot of checks.
That's a failure.
All right, so nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a success. That's a success against the sickened. On success, reduce your sickened value by 1. So.
Excellent. All right, so that ends that. Sheppy, kick it while it's down.
Oof. Does that end your turn?
It does.
Okay, we're all caught up here. I made all the checks for Arthurian, and he failed them both miserably. So he's over there retching, and he looks confused. He looks very confused. He's looking left and right. He's got acid dripping from his face. But more concerning, he is confused. Althea, you did the same thing. You pulled yourself behind. You start retching, leaning against the wall. Strange screaming sounds come from behind you, Cassandra. You never known could sound like that before. But wow. Agatha. All is confusion in front of you. You see these two creatures, one prone on the floor, wiggling about. You see Sheppy and Arthurian ahead of them, Althea and Cassandra next to you. But right in front of you are two of these creatures. One again is prone.
You want me to do the fortitude and will saves?
Yes.
All right.
So give me a fortitude first.
One and four fortitude.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead and give me a will save.
28 for will.
Okay. And the will was 28. Well, you're pretty good. You're unaffected by the moaning sounds of these creatures that are right in front of you. They just have this moaning sound, sickly sounding. Could turn your stomach. But the gibbering you pay no mind to whatsoever. In fact, maybe you've heard this before from similar creatures. So, just for the record, Agatha, Althea, and Cassandra, you are immune for the next minute or so from that gibbering sound. So you won't have to make will saves for that. I'm telling you this to help me remember.
Okay.
So you're good, Agatha. You're not affected by these strange sounds, gibbering and moans. You're up. 3 actions.
Alright, her first action, she's going to cast Discern Secrets on herself.
Put that in the chat. You call upon your patron's power to better uncover the secrets around you. When you cast the spell, the target can recall knowledge, seek, or sense motive. What's the motivation of these creatures? The target gains a +1 status bonus to the skill or perception used for this roll, and this bonus remains as long as you sustain the spell. Target is temporarily immune to discern secrets for 1 minute. Who is the target? What is the target?
The target is going to be herself.
And what are you using?
Going to do a recall knowledge to see if she can...
On yourself?
No, not on herself, sorry. She's going to do a recall knowledge on the 2 creatures in front of her to see if she might be able to remember something from her studies.
All right, one of these creatures. All right, so you're going to attempt to identify them. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a +1 status bonus to this. So you're going to make a recall knowledge roll, and I'll tell you what skill applies here. In this case, it's going to be, I think it's occult. Let me double check that. Yes, Your occultism skill is going to come into use here. Secrets and mysteries of the universe. So go ahead and do that. And we'll see what you can recall about this strange creature. You've heard of these creatures. They are what is known as grothlets. I'll put that in the chat. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to make a note on a piece of scrap paper, because we were talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to write down recall knowledge and put grothlet. All right, that's the name of the creature, at least from what you have learned. They are known as grothlets. Some type of amalgamation, an aberration of terrible impurities. From what you've heard, they tend to be resistant, if not immune, to, at least as far as you can remember, acid. Yes, acid. Acid has no effect on them whatsoever. You also recall that these creatures are actually quite mindless. Almost like a zombie. So, the reason why I have you wrote that down, in the future, if you encounter these creatures again, you have a reference to go on here. You know what they are. You know this amount of information. You might learn something more on them in the future. Okay? It's a little reminder for us. And how many actions was that? Well, you cast a cantrip.
2 actions.
You cast a cantrip. And then you used an action to recall knowledge. So you have 2 actions left. Right?
With her having cast Discern Secrets, she's gonna try and do a recall knowledge on the gibbering mouth that's trying to get away.
All right, wait a minute. It took an action to cast Discern Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's... You don't spend another action to recall knowledge. You're just spending the action for the spell.
Okay.
So you have 2 actions left. I think. What do you think, Rachel? Is that how that is? So, yeah, I think it is. And now you're going to cast the spell again to do the same thing.
I'm not going to cast Discern again. I'm going to try and do another recall knowledge. As a final action.
I'm not sure it should be your final action.
Yeah, I was looking it over.
Okay.
It reads that when you cast the spell, and the spell's a 1-action spell, yeah? When you cast the spell,
actually,
the target can recall knowledge.
This is cantrip 3. Does that mean it's 3 actions?
No, that's...
Oh, no. Cast time 1. That's just the
heightened,
level. Yeah, heightened.
So it takes 1 action to do this. 2 actions left. You use it. This time you're going to use recall knowledge as your second action, right? Clarify what your second action is. Dizzy, sorry.
So she did Discern Secrets, which would be 1 action.
Right, she did that. That's done. Okay, you found out about that creature. Now, what's next?
Was going to try and get more knowledge on the gibberish mouth that's trying to get away from them, that's heading towards the door.
All right. You can see him. And this, you're not using the spell again. You're going to just use Recall Knowledge.
Correct.
All right, go ahead and make a Recall Knowledge. This is going to be occultism as well. Make a note on your paper. Gibbering mouther. Okay. Again, another aberration. These creatures seem to be a guardian-type creation. They make good guards. Also said to have weaknesses, at least one of which is to bludgeoning-type weapons. Hammers, clubs, fists. They seem to be most effective against it. Okay, write that down. So, in the future, if you encounter this thing and do it on him again, I won't give you the same information. Okay?
Got
Alright, that's 2 actions. We're getting meta here. Kind of got to. This is a very involved combat here. There's a lot of stuff going on. Go ahead. You got one more.
With that, Agatha is going to back up 5 feet to try and get some distance between herself and the creatures that are in front of her.
Go ahead. Okay.
And that's it.
All right, so while all this chaos, Althea running to the back and retching Arthurian and Sheppy, Althea slapping Sheppy, all this confusion and chaos going on. These creatures are attacking you from all sides. You've been paying attention, Agatha. You've been watching. You've been analyzing. You've been staring at the ones in front of you and the one further away across from Arthurian, some 15 feet, this gibbering creature. You hear the voices of it. You hear the moans. You hear the constant voices coming from this blob with mouths. But you know what they are. You've seen them. You've heard of these creatures before. You're undisturbed at the moans and the gibbering, and you're able to analyze these creatures and what they really are and what weaknesses they might have. And then you, without fear, you slowly back away, standing aside Althea. We're going to go to round 3. Smug is next. This gibbering mound of flesh. It seems to be near death. The mouths once again turn the direction of Sheppy the goblin and the dwarf Arthurian. It's going to make a spittle attack, and once again this acid-like ooze comes flying in the direction of... Give me a number between 1 and 6, Sheppy.
6.
It's going on Arthurian. A little bit of revenge here. That is going to be a critical hit on Arthurian. Let me double check. Is the splash damage? No. I thought it was splash damage on this thing. I guess it's not. Okay, critical damage. The acid goes everywhere. 32 points of acidic damage engulfs the dwarf. He screams, he howls, he tries to protect himself with the shield, but it begins to sizzle and smoke comes off his armor. It's beginning to burn. It gets all over him. Whoops. Did I do that right? Why does it say he only took 3 points of damage?
Is he dead?
No. He's got 47. So minus 29. Good thing I caught
I
that.
don't think we should question the wisdom of Foundry. We should just let it.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed. Why mess with it?
Arthurian is near death. He's about to drop to a knee from all the burning, and actually he doesn't know what's going on. He's confused. He's sickened. What's that other thing on him? Dazzled.
Dazzled, yeah.
And he just got critted with some acidic damage. Alright. Sheppy, you're next.
Okay.
No, you're next as a target.
Oh,
There is a
too good to be
difference.
true.
There is a difference. And that's going to be a hit. It's not going to be critical as once again acid comes flying in your direction. Those dice are perfectly colored. 13 points of acid damage on Sheppy. And it disappears out of sight in the direction of that doorway. Sheppy, you're next.
Okay, for my first action, I'm going to make a full move up the steps to the left of the witch.
Okay.
All
5,
right,
10, 15. 15 feet to get there. Yeah, there you go. Ta-da!
Keep going. Keep going.
All right, that's 15. 20.
All right, that's good.
25.
All right, this is 25. That's your full speed.
Yep.
Okay, so you book
Okay.
it.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a heightened flaming sphere in the square of the injured slug creature.
So heightened would be level 3 or 2?
3. The other one.
The one that's prone?
That one. Yes.
Yeah, finish it up.
And cast time to 30 feet. So anywhere within 30 feet. So yeah, you can drop it in there. And he has to make a savings throw. Is that a basic save? Yes, it
DC
is.
21 flat check. Yeah.
Well, you roll your damage first. Since it's a basic save.
It does say at the bottom that creatures that succeed their save take no damage instead of half. So if you're successful, it's none.
12 points of damage, and he fails by 7. Which means takes full damage. And that, what is this, acid damage? Oh, it's fire
Fire.
damage.
Acid.
Yeah, I'm there's too much acid flying around tonight.
It's
Top-
Sheppy we're talking about.
Top everything else, I got heartburn. So yeah. All right, describe for me, Sheppy, how you destroy this creature. What does that look like?
All right. Sheppy, seeing all the confusion going on around him, he says, I'm out of here. He rolls up the steps. And as he's rolling, he rolls a ball down the steps between Agatha's legs and just goes right into the creature and just goes inside of it and just burns it from the inside.
Well, if you're gonna move it through her square first, she's got to make a save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait a
Lord.
minute.
It's on the ceiling. Sorry.
There you go.
You moved
Then
it
it
around.
drops.
I think it just appears within range. It doesn't actually move initially when you cast it. After
Yeah,
that,
you're
when you
right.
sustain it, that's when you move it around. So
Yep.
it appeared on top of the belly of this creature that's laying there prone.
Just burned right through it.
It starts to sizzle. It smells horrifying. The smoke comes off it. Oh, it's sickening. It's disgusting. It's charred. Very good, Sheppy.
You?
So you're done.
He's done.
It's time for Zealous. That's this guy over here. It advances forward, sliding along the floor in a sickly fashion, serpent-like. And its claws reach out to you, Cassandra. Darn it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. Claws. Left and right, up and down. That's not going to do it, I don't think. That's an 18. Armor class is 21. I'll try it again. Nope. Failed. Arthurian is up next. Hopefully we'll see Kyle. Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
I was
he
gonna
just-
say right
he just
on
logged on.
time.
All right, we'll wait for Kyle to begin his turn. I'll fill him in because there's a lot going on in his character, as he will see.
Not looking good, Arthurian.
When does it ever with an ambush?
You did fantastic with 2 criticals in one attack, or one turn. Both your attacks were criticals. But after
Look at all
that,
those statuses right now.
after that, you paid the price. You are confused. You are dazzled. You're flat-footed. Your shield's still up. Well, not at the moment because it's your turn. Confused
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
much.
loading in now.
Confused pretty much means you can't do anything. But I believe I did attack you and did some damage, so you're going to get a DC 11 check. Every time you're damaged, I think I hit you one time, you get a DC flat check. 11 or greater, you shake yourself free of the
Yeah, it's that hefty acid
Con-
splash.
the confusion. So do that when you're ready.
All right.
11 or higher. 17. Remove your confusion.
Okay.
Okay, so you're dazzled and sickened?
Yeah, dazzled and sick, and the worst contact. Is these the only 2 contacts that we have left?
Yes.
And the gibbering mouther is making its escape at near death.
And it's my turn.
And it's your turn. Now, if you're sickened, you can spend an action to retch. That'll give you a fortitude save to see if you can get it out of your system. That came from the moaning sounds of these creatures. It was a sickly, gurgling sound.
Okay. I'll bypass the retching for the moment.
You retching?
No, I'm gonna move up to there.
Slug is flat-footed now.
what I got here. Let's see if I can wallop him there.
Oh yeah,
30.
crit.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
That is a critical hit. You slam into him with your magical warhammer. Go ahead and roll critical damage.
It's going to be 24, and he is knocked prone as well.
Yes, he is. Let me double check something here. Okay. And he is prone. Let me drag that to him. Excellent. So you weigh into him of several more times. These hammer blows rain down on this creature. Perhaps when its back was turned and vulnerable, you slammed into him. It's now near death. It's looking grim for this creature.
Yeah, I'm going to try that one more time.
You are. Let's see if you can do it.
Oh yeah.
26.
26 is almost critical damage. You missed it by a point.
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Guess what? He had exactly 8 hit points. Describe how you finish this creature off.
Arthurian's gonna take a step back, seeing this creature surround everybody back there, and he's gonna bring the hammer down once, knocking it down, and then sort of puts his boot on the creature's chest, and one good hammer strike finishes the task.
Do you want to attempt to retch?
Can now.
Oh, did you move? You did move, sorry.
Did move, yeah.
Okay. Cassandra, you're up. Now, as far as you can
All right,
tell,
so I am confused.
you are.
Did you get hit?
No, no one was kind enough to hit me.
No, I mean like
Unless
the
some of
enemy.
your nope, missed. I'm at full health. Unless some of your
Oh, they
vomit got on
missed.
my shoes while you were. Maybe that counts.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see what you do. Let's see what you do. You got a couple targets there, I think. That's what you're going to do. You're going to do your flurry of blows, if that's possible. Don't tell me it's not. And give me a number between... No, don't give me any number. I'm going to roll it and see. Starting with the dwarf. 1 to 2 is the dwarf. 3 to 4 is Agatha. 5 to 6 is Althea. It is going to be Agatha. You're going to weigh into Agatha.
Oh, I thought I was rolling. Sorry.
No, I rolled it.
Okay. Okay, this is not gonna be great.
Let's keep up those low rolls.
I know. Watch it be completely different now.
Just weigh into
Apologies
her
in
with one of
advance.
those. Stunner.
Thing is, I'm very likely to crit her.
Ooh.
Oh,
And that's a
God.
crit.
Ow.
Yeah. Is 27 a crit?
27 is a crit. No. 29 would be a crit.
Okay, so she's AC 19. Okay, good. All right, so we combine this damage together. Oh, that should be more than that, but
You take a penalty too for your confused state.
so 19 damage on Agatha, and she has to roll 14 save.
So give yourself, how much? 19 or is it 19?
It's total of 19, and she has to roll a fortitude save or be stunned.
19 bludgeoning damage, Dizzy. And when you're ready, make a DC 21 fortitude check.
You said fortitude?
Mm-hmm. If you look in the chat, you can actually click where it says DC 21 Fortitude. Click that little diamond or heart symbol where it's kind of maroon colored background. And it'll, yeah, exactly.
I'm hero pointing that. I am hero pointing that.
Wow, critical failure.
Oh, don't. There's no fight left. There's no fight left. You're just stunned. You just lose an action. And I stopped being confused after this. It's not worth it. It's not extra damage.
It's up to you. Hero point? You're fine, Dizzy.
So, I'm confused. If I failed it, what does that do to me exactly?
It just means you lose all your actions on your next turn. But am I right? There's no other monsters nearby?
You're still in combat.
Nope, I'm hero pointing
That's
it.
not the question I asked, DM.
I'm hero pointing it.
It's up to you. Failure by 1. So you'd end up being stunned anyway. But you're not critical.
But you only lose one action instead of 3.
So I drug that to your thing. So you're just going to, when your turn starts, you're going to lose 1 action. Okay? And your turn is up after Althea. And, right, so Agatha's just standing there after analyzing these creatures and standing boldly there, fearless. All of a sudden, a fist and an elbow comes flying at her, stunning you, taking some shocking damage. Wow. Cassandra's done. We're going to go to Althea.
I can take the confused off, Fritz?
Confused? Someone has
Yeah, you said it's for-
has to deal
you said
damage
it's
to
for
you.
1 round when you applied it.
Keep it on for now. I'm going to look.
If not, don't worry.
Althea's got a hand ready.
You know, she's closer to Sheppy because she snowed him longer, so she felt like it wasn't an issue to just give him a good old once over with her hand. For Cassandra, she's just going to like kind of shake instead. It's like, I really don't want her to be upset with me. And I know that if she really is confused, she'll just flip me right off these stairs. I know what she's capable of in the short amount of time we've known each other.
You're right, Eric. You're no longer confused. They don't last
Ah,
long.
darn.
This one I was getting good.
I know.
Instead, I'll 2-action heal Arthurian. I'll cast my magic and send it on over through the group.
Wait.
No, it's just for Arthurian. And you heal 43 hit points.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
That'll do it.
Feeling good? Right
Feeling
as
better
rain?
than I am, but
You just got a 1-up.
yeah, I just got a 1-up.
And with that, Althea's looking around, and she just genuinely asks, is it safe to come down now? I know the other creature might have slid away, but I don't see it. And that'll be her final action, is just to ask, because she cannot see anything. Oh, I can't hear you if you're trying to talk to us.
Yeah, I was muted. Okay. All right. Agatha, you're up. You can't see where the gibbering mouther went to, but he was in the direction of the shadows where that doorway was. In the darkness, it kind of slinked away. You think? If you listen closely, you can still hear the gibbering. Just in the distance ahead. What do you do?
Would it cost an action to get rid of the stunned?
You just lose an action.
Okay.
So you got 2 actions for the turn. Let's see, what's your health like? You're badly injured. You can always heal yourself. You do have harm spells.
I
do
was
it on
going
yourself.
to try and use cast. Yeah, I was going to cast harm on myself.
Okay. You can do that. Put it in the chat. So the 1 action is the one that you want. Has a range of touch. That's on yourself. It only takes 1 action to do. And what level is this? Level 1 you have it prepared as. So you're going to get D8. I believe. What is it?
Since I'm casting myself and I'm undead.
1d8 healing. Cast at level 1. It's just 1d8. Four points. You can cast it again if you want. Or I could do something else. Whatever you want. Darn it. You could also get rid of the stunned. I'll do it for you.
I'll cast harm one more time.
Okay. Are you clicking the cast button on your spell sheet? Or are you putting it in the chat? Because you could do it that way too. And it gives you all those options. $1d8 plus 8. Where did that come from?
I think the first time when I rolled it, I might have done just the 1d8 and not the actual spell, because I was kind of confused.
You channel negative energy to harm the living or heal the undead. If the target is a living creature, you deal 1d8 negative damage to it, and it gets a basic fortitude save. If the target is a willing undead creature, that's you restore the amount of hit points instead. It's 1d8. The number of actions you spend, casting time, blah, 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 range, determines the perimeters of it. So you used it as a 1 action. The spell has a range of touch, so it's just D8, and it's on yourself. The heightened thing, the amount of healing or damage increases by 1d8, and the extra healing for the 2-action version increases by D8. So shouldn't it be just D8?
Yeah, that's where I screwed up. That was my bad.
Harm versus... I don't understand why it gave you that plus 8. It's only a level 1.
Yeah, if you were going to do it twice, you'd have been better off doing it as a 2 action.
1d8 plus 8. 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 1d8 plus
It'd be like a D8 plus another D8, but the second D8's already maxed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so use it as a 2 action.
Well, she can't. She's healing herself. You can't use it on yourself if you use it as a 2 action.
Sure you can. Just because it has a range of 30, it just means it's up to 30.
I don't know about that.
I'll make it the god's decision.
I think I remember reading it says when it's got a range, you can't target yourself in this particular spell. But I'll let you have what you rolled there, so you can have the 15. Because we'll look that up later. Because I could be very much wrong. Range and self harm. We could look that up later. Okay, you get the 15. That'll be your reward for being a good witch. Alright, so you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everyone hears coming from the doorway the gibbering sounds. You all hear it clearly. As you all stand there, falling into silence briefly of the demise of these creatures, you do start to hear in the distance, just beyond the door, this constant gibbering noise. Now, at this point, you've heard the gibbering before, so I'm not going to enforce any savings throws here. You're good. But nothing happens. You just hear this constant gibbering. And with that, we're going to go to Sheppy. The tension is in the air, Sheppy. Something lies ahead, that creature. What do you do?
Okay, I'm going to move to below Arthurian. It should be 25 feet, I believe. I will sustain the sphere and move it down to the doorway.
That's 25 feet.
Can I see in that doorway? I'll
You
just put it-
can. It's just when I click on the flaming sphere, it gets other.
All right,
Gotcha.
one
I
second.
want to put it inside the doorway if I can.
1 second.
Okay.
1 second. Let me check your vision. I want to see if you can see that square. All right, you can see. I'm going to say you can see him. He's right there at the door. The doorway's open. And you can see, not all of him, but you can see part of his flesh. I will allow you to move into his square with that flaming ball of nastiness.
I see a tentacle. Roll it.
All right, you can do that. No problem. The flaming ball rolls into the presence of this creature. He's going to have to make a save.
DC 21.
Where's the... All right, I'll just do that then.
It's a
Yeah. Oh,
reflex.
yeah. It was all the way at the top. I scrolled up and I went ahead and clicked the damage.
Reflex, right?
Reflex, yeah.
And what's the DC again?
21.
Oh, he failed.
Good job, Sheppy.
Yay.
So 12 points of damage.
Again.
Fire engulfs the creature. It begins to squirm. You can see motion in the shadows and beyond the doorway. You can see this clearly, Sheppy. Yeah, it feels the fire, the pain of your ball. Come out to
Not
play!
so
Come out to
smug.
play!
Don't run away.
And all the mouths begin screaming in pain. Ah! Imagine 20 of those sounds all at once. Okay, your turn is done, I believe, or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it?
Move.
No, you moved and sustained the spell, right?
You got one
Yeah,
more.
I got one more. All right, I'll fling a flaming ball of elemental, my focus
Cost?
spell.
Is it a 1-action spell?
Yep.
It is. Wow, that's nice.
Whatever. Put it in the chat,
Oh,
please.
it's... When's the last time you refocused?
Oh, you know what? I used it. I don't have it.
Yeah, because I was
Sorry.
going to say, it said, gave me the error.
Yep, I used it already. Oh well. So, one more action to...
It's writhing in pain. Here's your chance to finish it off.
I'll
Come
throw
on,
the
Chapt.
dagger at it. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
You
in my
are
hand.
still holding it! What's the
What the hell?
range on that?
Hopefully it's enough.
25. What's the increment?
Look, I think it's an inventory dagger. 10 feet.
Oh, it's going to be -2.
Why
So-
not?
You got a -2 to whatever you roll here. We'll just add it.
Alright, so would that be the strike normal?
There should be a ranged thing for it. Let
Oh
me
yeah, you're right. Right underneath it.
Throne. That'll be his second. You casted a spell, right? That was attack, wasn't it?
That's my third action.
Well, your movement isn't an attack.
Right.
But was
Neither
your...
the same.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't. So this would be your first attack, so you're +10 with it.
Alright, I already integrated the -2.
Okay. 17 is not enough. Clank! It hits the wall and disappears. It bounces a few times back out on the rail area and falls into the blackness. Gone forever.
No!
Let me roll dice to see if it does.
I'll listen if it does. See how before it hits.
I'm going to say... Well, let me roll it digitally so you can all see it. I'm going to say it's we're going to give it a 2 in 6 chance. Let's roll. 1 to 2. It's going down the hole. Clank. It lands on the stone in front of the door. So you can pick it up.
6 in the door.
Right about where the... Right, now you can't see the door. It's on the inside. Right about where the flaming sphere is. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Arthurian, you're up.
I see it from there.
Are you still dazzled?
Yeah, I'm still dazzled.
What did that...
Sickened.
No, did he get rid of the sickened? No, he didn't.
No, I haven't done that one yet.
Where did the dazzle come from? I think it was the acid. Yeah,
That goes away, doesn't it?
let me double check that. I don't want to be penalizing you here. Your eyes are on fire. Yeah, that's gone. It only lasted a round, so you can get rid of dazzled.
Get it, Arthurian. It's almost dead.
One sudden charge down to the doorway.
Okay. I'm going to say there's a 1 in 6 chance the dagger gets flicked into the abyss and gone forever. Let me roll. You stepped on it and kicked it. What's rolled? Say 1 in 6 chance. Darn it.
You don't want me having that, do you?
Well, isn't that the clan dagger you stole from?
Hey now.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
It's the one I made that looks like it.
Sure it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
you guys just sort of turn and see Arthurian bolt very, very quickly. You're not used to seeing him running this quickly.
What are you doing with my dagger?
Get down here to the doorway because I remember it coming out of this doorway. See if we can give it a good wallop and finish the job. 24.
24 is... You just hit.
He's gonna take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's a popular number tonight for damage.
Describe how you fell this blob of mouths.
You all see Arthurian just sort of take off running. You know, the little tip of dwarf feet moving very quickly. You'd almost be surprised that he's moving so quickly for the amount of armor that he's carrying. And then you just hear this shout as he turns the corner, starts swinging, and you hear this sickening whack of metal on flesh, and he comes back out a few minutes later after everything gets quiet, with this thing sort of dragging it through the doorway for everybody to see, like it's been literally put through a meat tenderizer.
Slightly cooked, too.
That must mean it's underdone. Sheppy, I believe you have failed the target of roasting it. Please roast it again at your earliest convenience.
Produce flame. Even to me, it doesn't smell good.
I wouldn't be caught dead eating that.
Darn it. Can't get rid of that constant ambient sound there. All right. As Arthurian rushes forward, almost falling over the rail past Sheppy, down towards the dagger, he just turns the corner and lays into this creature left and right and up and down with this hammer. You hear the thuds and the sickening splats coming from that doorway. Arthurian seething, covered in acid. Well, most of that's dripped off and wiped off, but you've recovered yourself quite well, Arthurian, and finished off yet another foe for the honor of the Dwarven kingdoms and clan that you hail from. And then there's a silence, and all that you can hear is the heavy breathing. Althea leaning against the wall, Cassandra getting her whereabouts of herself and situation again after clobbering Agatha. Agatha, you're recovering. Laying down some strange, magical, arcane healing yourself. And Sheppy, helping your pal, the dwarf, finish off this creature. Well done. Everybody gets a hero point for that, which will last for the remainder of this session. And yeah, so that's the situation. There doesn't seem to be any more of these creatures lying in wait in the shadows. Now,
Cassandra looks at Agatha and apologizes profusely. The creature's babbling clouded my mind. I had no idea who was friend and who was foe. Please, allow me to see where I hit you in the ribs. Maybe I can bandage them up a little bit. So I'm gonna treat wounds on Agatha.
okay.
While he's doing that, I'm going to refocus.
Okay.
And Arthurian will rejoin the party.
Okay, you step away from the doorway, away from this blob. And you've all gathered up towards the northern part of this big hole in the floor that leads into an abyss that not even you, Arthurian, with your dark vision, can see the bottom.
So that's a critical success on Agatha, so it's 48.
Now that's not going to happen. What are you using?
Oh,
Medicine
wait a
check?
minute.
Oh no, Cassandra!
Yeah,
No!
No, it's not. It's not positive magic.
No, but it has
Just
no
doing treat
effect on her.
wounds.
has no effect on her whatsoever.
Okay. Well, while that's happening, I am
But
also doing that to myself.
It should also heal her though.
Nope. She's not a
Can
living.
you
She's
tell
not a
me
living
why?
creature. She's not a living creature.
She's completely undead.
I thought Dampiers
Not
were
a
only
Dampier.
partly undead.
Not a
She's
Dampier.
not Dampier.
Oh, she's
That's
not a
good.
Dampier.
He is a full-fledged vampire.
Let's leave it at that.
So I
Let's
would
leave
need
it at
stitch
that.
flesh for that.
Let's
Okay.
leave it at that. Okay. Let's not reveal too much at once here.
Well,
Um,
I think that's something we should know if she's going to be adventuring with us.
Well,
That she's a full-blown
Well,
vampire.
you'll find
while
out
this
one
is
way or
all
the other.
going on, Agatha would pipe up in the group and she would be explaining to the group what those creatures are, what their weaknesses are, and what can hurt them the most.
Okay.
I fought them before. They're pretty mean little buggers, that.
Yes, I
Especially
thought
the
we'd never.
mountain ones.
I thought we'd never see them again. Once was enough for me, but to see them
Althea
dwelling
knows
in
what they look
someplace
like from
this.
the inside.
Aye, 'cause you got sucked
Yes,
into
I
it.
do.
Your mouth ate you alive there. That was a tough fight to get you out of that one.
I've kept my distance for a reason. I'd rather not look inside again. Oh, so many mouths.
Well, thankfully I pulverized them all shit for you, so you ain't got nothing to fear now.
Yes, that warhammer came in handy. It did very well against them.
Aye, and just imagine how good this is gonna go. And Arthurian would sling his shield over his back and pull out this great big hulking two-handed maul. The little feller did that good. Imagine what the big boy's capable of, lassie.
Not very. I'm not very knowledgeable of weapons, but I'll take your word for it.
Cassandra approaches Althea and asks if she can treat her wounds.
So I actually rolled to treat my own wounds.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did, but I want to hero point it. 'Cause I rolled a 1. And in addition, because I'm using my healer's tools, I don't think it's given, but I also get an additional +1. Okay, so that was a 22. That was very pathetic. Yeah, Cassandra, I'll take all the help I can get. You see, she's doing it properly, but not very effectively. So if you want to give it a shot,
But
after
Cassandra just kneels down and says, "I'm sure you're doing your best."
yes, the only problem here is that we now have to wait an hour because I had done it first.
Oh, yeah, but oh no, that's right. You did it first.
I did
It's
it.
only 10 minutes if
Yeah.
I go first.
Yep. And she
Alright.
was already wrapping her wounds by the time you were finishing up with Agatha, or gathering your tools.
Don't
So-
forget me. Oh, one.
Aye, well. it seems
Oh,
like
you're hurt
all we
too. That's
need-
right. Okay. So, I just look at the mess you made of the bandages around you and say, "There's little I can do for you now. Maybe I'll redress this later." And then turns to Sheppy.
Probably for the best. Yes, 10 to Sheppies. I will try again, but on Arthur.
That's a critical success on Sheppy.
Well, I'm fine, lassie. I can take it. I'm gonna go scout ahead to that hallway while you lot get your bandages on.
Oh, she tries her very best to stop you, and if you continue walking, you're now dragging her. She's trying to heal your wounds.
Arthurian
21
looks down.
hit points, Sheppy.
Oh
Ah,
my.
thank you. Your hands are so soft. They help a lot.
Yeah, Arthurian would stop as soon as Althea comes over.
Time it's a hefty 8 hit points.
Oh, feel better already there, lassie, I think.
I think I did a better job on you than myself.
Why are you doing that for? It's you before me, lassie.
You're used to fixing him up.
Now, who knows, Sheppy? This armor's holding up quite well, I must say.
You're missing part of your beard again. That ass is
Aye.
He's
He's tapping his foot and just looking at Sheppy. Aye, and I wonder how I lost half of it.
It wasn't me, I swear. Could have been.
You were very brave, Arthurian. And an inspiring combatant.
And you healed
What we got?
Sheppy, was it 21? Is that the one?
That's the one.
Alrighty.
See what I mean, guys? With a fighter off the leash? Oh,
Yeah, it's nice to see you hitting things for once.
Ouch.
Well, sometimes
Ow.
it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
You're like, I know he should be doing better.
yeah.
But,
You guys think it was hard to watch? It was hard to be a player in that, because I'm like, God bless.
So as we're
That-
having this like healing party, Althea's gonna turn to Agatha and ask, "Are you okay? I don't think there's much that we can offer to help you, but just gotta check in on you."
Agatha offers Althea a smile and shakes her head. I understand. I've got my spells and I'll do my best I can to keep myself healed. But I think we're probably gonna have issues as we further go in because we're probably gonna run into harder creatures. I have a bad feeling of.
Oh, that's never happened.
Arthurian will move up and gently pat Agatha like on the knee. You did good, lassie. And then he's gonna move to go scout the other doorway.
Okay. Taking note, Cassandra, that all your wrappings and time spent on Agatha had no effect on her. In fact, she pulled away as you reached to her wounded flesh and kind of hid herself with her long robes. I imagine Agatha said something about that. Arthurian, you move back towards the doorway, correct?
Yeah, I was gonna go scout in that long hallway.
All right, you see a long corridor that goes east. You see doors. One at the far end, the eastern end of the corridor, you see a door. You also see another door about 15 feet from you on the right side of this corridor. Further down the corridor, you see not a doorway, but it looks like there's a turn going up to the north. So basically, there's 3 possible exits to this long corridor ahead. Now, are the rest of you going to follow in behind? I'll assume you're all following up behind Arthurian at this point. You've gathered yourselves together.
Sure.
And Cassandra, I have you in the back of the marching order since you joined late. You want to continue protecting the rear? You'll be last in the marching order. Agatha's right in front of you.
What do you think, the rest of you? Do you think I should be able to be up front and engage with Arthurian? I sort of feel that's what makes sense.
Right now it's Arthurian, Sheppy, Althea, Agatha, and Cassandra.
But we just did get ambushed, and they came from 2 different points, so having some rear backup might be useful.
All right, I'm fine to stay in the back then.
Okay.
Probably a smart idea to have a secondary fighter in the back.
That's
Keep-
what I was thinking, just in case.
Keep the squishy ones in the middle.
You're quite
Yeah, I'm
mobile, so
protected.
you can get up there.
Yeah. There
I
is
mean,
that, too.
Agatha can pull her punches with Sheppy, but in a one-on-one stance, Agatha wouldn't be able to stand for very long.
If somebody attacked you from the rear, Agatha, you'd be done.
Be hurting pretty good, so.
Yeah, I'd be chopped probably within 3 actions.
Yeah, so having him sort of in the rear sort of gets us a buffer to keep the most, unarmored, people in the middle for protection.
All right, no problem.
Because I can face tank anything until Cassandra can get to me if there's no other threats.
Okay. All right, so you're facing the eastern corridor. You're at the doorway. Arthurian, you're in the lead. This is what you see. Now, again, in this chamber, this round chamber with a walkway, you do see to the south you see a doorway to the south. And you also see one to the west. So there's 3 exits. Also, you see a set of steps that descend deeper.
What you think? You think we ought to investigate these other corridors before we head further down?
To refresh your memories, let me read again when you entered this chamber. A crumbling staircase, the one you initially descended, leads to a cracked and badly stained mosaic tile floor. You can see it. To the south, a walkway encircles a round, gaping pit, leading to a spiral stairway that clings to the edge of this pit. A twisted iron banister follows the edge of the walkway and the stairs. The acrid smell of chemicals and rot and decay, with just a tinge of sulfur, wafts from the pit's darkness below. Arthurian, you cannot see the bottom of this pit. Strange moaning echoes, even after this combat, can be heard coming from this deep abyss. Currently, you're standing at the eastern doorway, which is open. The carcass of this creature, you'll have to step carefully, but you'll all have to be careful there. You will be stepping in it. Unless you want to jump. If you want to go that direction. The door was open. You highly doubt this creature was able to open a door. It was already open.
Going down is always bad. We should probably check the rooms.
We should check the rooms to the eastern corridors. I see another door the way down to the south we can check out after we get done with these lot. I see a few doors down this corridor that might need checking.
Sounds good.
All right, so you're going to head to the southern door?
No, we're gonna head to this door up here.
Oh, you're going down the corridor. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll have to step carefully. You make your way over this carcass. It's pretty impossible. I imagine somebody lifts the goblin and the gnome.
Could I drag the carcass out of there and throw it down in the pit?
If you want to take the time to do that, that'll take some time, but go ahead and do that.
Would that be a wise idea to do, though? Because we don't know what's at the bottom of the pit.
We don't want to alarm them.
It could be a bit of work and take up time.
We'll get over it.
Alright, let's get over it then. Squish, 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 squish. Or he's just proudly walking through it.
Cassandra picks up Sheppy and tosses him over the creature. Arthurian, you catch Sheppy. Same with
I
Hey,
will
no-
indeed.
same with Althea. Little tossing of gnomes here.
No, please. I want to stay on the ground.
Don't worry, I got you, lassie.
Gnomes
Heave
weren't
her,
meant to fly
Cassandra,
like
give it.
this.
Alessandra would probably take a few steps back, use her staff, and as she runs forward, she's going to try and jump over the
Pole vault.
thingy with her staff using as leverage.
Little pole
this
vault.
is going to go well.
Arthurian would catch her too.
Yeah, sure.
Splat.
Okay. 15 feet down the corridor, Arthurian, to the south, to your right, you see this door. It's a wooden door, iron banding, similar to the ones you've seen earlier. However, on this door, you see, under the handle, you've seen this large keyhole. You haven't seen too many with keyholes. You've seen a lot with locks on the outside, but not a keyhole.
I have a key. Might work.
Aye, Sheppy, let's give it a go.
Sheppy will put it in the lock. Does it turn? Thanks.
No, in fact, it won't even fit in the keyhole. Did you try to open the door?
That's what I'm going to try to do next. See if it'll open with the handle.
All right, you open it. It doesn't open. It's definitely locked.
Pulls out the maul.
Okay, this will take time and it'll be very loud.
Wait. Before you use them all, let's see if there's, like, maybe any magic on it.
Or listen.
Are you able to detect any magic, Agatha?
Well, let's back up here. Sheppy, you've been using detect magic all this time.
Correct.
There is since descending these steps, you have felt the presence of new magic somewhere. And you're still feeling it now as you've entered this eastern passageway. It's a constant pinging going off in your head.
Is my detect magic heightened yet?
Let me check.
Since I'm
If it's a
level
cantrip,
5.
it should be.
Cantrip 3, heightened 2. Or, sorry, 3rd. Heightened 3rd. So it should be. So you learn the School of Magic for the highest level effect within range that the spell detects. If multiple effects are equally strong, the GM determines which you learn.
You sense a lot of necromancy.
I sense the magic of the dead. A lot of it.
Agatha perks up.
Well, that's not uncommon given where we're at. Any other suggestions for getting this door open?
Perhaps I could give it a try, maybe?
Does anyone have lockpicks?
Nope.
Okay.
I used to.
Oh, really? Shippy doesn't have lockpicks?
I don't know. Did Arthurian reveal what he did with those lockpicks he got from Otari himself? No.
Means bed and mum.
Oh gosh, what if those were required of this door? Quick, back to Otari. Let's get those lockpicks.
Let's break into the museum.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take that gift back.
Sorry, but it turns out that we need it now.
But yeah, no lockpicks here.
I can hammer it down.
Oh, before the session, I did say I was going to buy some while we were in
Yeah,
town.
right. Right.
I did.
Or at least a crowbar, you know.
I do have a crowbar.
Let's just say you wrote it down on your want list. When you get back.
Okay.
When you get back. Oh, and by the way, I don't want to interrupt the session, but Kyle, your character is on the brink of an alignment change.
Oh boy.
Because of your actions, I've been watching them, the past number of sessions in particular. Your character, either right now you can make this change, or you're going to make it at the end of this session. Or you can revert back to what you chose for your alignment. Your alignment is going in lawful good direction.
Okay.
Okay? So if you want to be lawful good, you could make that change now, after the session, or, well, you'll have to after the session. Or change your ways. Okay, so your good alignment is, your lawful alignment stays, but your neutral is turning into good. Okay?
So that I made the change.
Okay, so you're lawful good. All right, let's get back to this.
I do have a crowbar.
Okay, so you could attempt to force the door, or you could attempt to attack and destroy the door. What would you like to do? Force the door, I think, would be more
I'm gonna go
practical.
force the door.
Okay, you're going to make an athletics check. You're going to use the force open action. Go ahead and do that. You're using a crowbar, so there's no penalties. Is anyone helping him? If anyone wants to help, one other person can do so. They can make an athletics check as well, and if you're successful, that will give him a bonus.
Okay, Cassandra will try to help him.
All right, go ahead and make your roll first. Athletics.
Athletics.
Okay. Go ahead, Arthurian, make your athletics roll.
I will hero point that.
Okay, you will.
That ain't much better.
As they are trying to knock down the door or, wedge it open, I'm going to cast shield on myself, just in case.
Do you want that to be your, well, temporarily your exploration activity, or?
Yeah, temporarily my exploration activity while we try to get through this door.
All right, you keep a note on that.
And while they're trying to get through the store, Agatha, if she is allowed, would try to attempt to do recall knowledge and see if there's anything about the door or the magic that she feels that she could figure out. If the gods will allow it.
So you want to use a recall knowledge, I would imagine, using arcane, looking at the door, looking for runes and things like that.
Correct.
All right, you can do that. Go ahead and make a Arcana roll.
Okay.
It could be public. You put your shoulder into it, Arthurian. You got Cassandra at your side. You're both wedging and turning at this thing, but it's taking much longer than you'd expected. But it begins to give. Agatha, you're watching your friends go at this door and paying particular attention around its borders and where its fixtures and iron piecings are. You see no runes. You see no magical writings. You don't sense the presence of anything arcane or magical at all on this door. And just then, the door begins to break. You hear it creak and push in, and with a crash, this takes some time, longer than you expected, but you do get through the door, and it does come open.
As the door opens, Arthurian will sling the crowbar back into his bag and pick up the ball again. Oh, great. Maybe I not to put that away yet.
Another
It never happens.
I wonder if that one's locked too, or...
You see a very similar looking door about 10 feet in front of you in this narrow hallway.
Want to give it a go with the old pry bar there, Cassandra?
She nods her head and she says, yes. Hopefully whatever's behind there will be polite enough to allow us to reassert ourselves before combat begins.
All right.
Well, if not, they're gonna get a headbutt right in the hips. Let's give it a go.
All right, go ahead and do your athletics check. Go ahead, Cassandra, you first to see if he gets a bonus.
Jeffy, get ready to walk that fireball down there as soon as this door comes open if need be.
Just duck. I got it on ready.
Go ahead, Arthurian. All right. This door, you put a lot of effort into this one. It comes free off the hinges, practically. This door has been opened. In fact, it's broken. Like the one behind you, these doors are broken. They're hanging off their hinges. But at least they're open.
See Arthurian and Cassandra shoulder charging these doors.
Yeah, you just broke through these doors with, you destroyed them. All right, let me, look at this. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Ah, these are not opening for me for some reason. Let me grab them from the journals. I think I need to refresh. Whoops. As the second door comes off its hinges and you peer inside Arthurian, Cassandra, directly next to him, you see this small chamber. It's full of shelves, well stocked with jars of what looks like preserved organs. Crates filled with bones wrapped in rags, and magical tools are all over the place. 2 armor stands flank what looks like a weapon rack to the south, but they bear only a pair of gnarled sticks in leather sheaths. Perhaps training weapons, Arthurian.
Any new magic?
You sense the presence still, Sheppy.
This school.
It's been
School,
constant.
too.
It's been constant since you entered down here.
Necromancy.
I don't see no bad, Gus. Suppose we ought to rifle through 'em, see if there's anything here still of use.
I'm even afraid just to look around. This place looks disgusting. What's in those jars?
So Cassandra just looks at Sheppy and asks him, I am not sure how you do this, but is there anything of note?
Well, from what I can sense, there's a strong aura of death magic coming from this room.
Agatha would wiggle her way inside of the room.
As I said, there's shelves along both the east and west walls and on the south as well. And there's all these jars lined up. If you'd like to search through this stuff, you can do so. But you don't see any other exits. You do see that what looks like a weapons rack in the one corner there. But if you'd like to search the shelves and take a look around, you can do so.
Chapt
Yeah.
will start looking through the bottles.
Agatha would start looking through the bottles as well.
All right, who's standing watch? Anybody?
I can. Well, I
Okay.
have my shield raised or casted.
All right, it's gonna...
Cassandra's going to examine the weapons.
Okay, Cassandra going towards that weapon rack. If you look in the corner of the room, there is a little icon there of what you find. Now, it's going to take time, but this is what you find going through all these jars and stuff. And it is quite disgusting and disturbing. But amongst these organs, bottled organs, you do find some things might be worthwhile.
I opened up the list for you, Sheppy, since you are looking through it.
Thank you.
While you do that, I'm going to refresh.
Too small.
All right. To
Probably
sum
none
it
of
up-
it's mystified.
No, none of it at all.
Nope, I didn't have time to do
There's a
that.
purple potion, green elixir, silver.
Imagine
liquid.
there's labels written on these jars so you can clearly see what they are, okay?
They're in undercommon, so that's no issue for Sheppy. But there's bestial or bestial mutagen, juggernaut mutagen, quicksilver mutagen, wand of heal level 2, wand of summon animal level 2. And if you need to know more about what they are, I can also open them.
Well, it sounds like something we need to look at later. Let's just put it all in a pack.
Well, it looks like you've got plenty of room in your bag.
But saving my money.
Oh, holy moly, wowza, yeah.
Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
And he carries this with him everywhere he goes.
Right, Althea has no
Big
clue.
sack of coins.
Yeah.
Smart goblin keeping all of it on you.
Until he comes across the worst thief in Otari. Or the best thief in Otari.
When you look poor, you know how to save money.
Ching, 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 ching.
Entire life savings.
Other people's money sometimes too.
You guys...
But what's everybody doing with the items?
So if you want something from that, you can drag it to your character sheet. They are labeled, so you know what they are. Including the wands. So whoever wants something, you can dish it out. Or you could just put it in a bag and one person carry it, or just make a note what you found. And then sort it out later.
Where's the list?
Oh, in the bottom left-hand side of the room, there's a little image with a bunch of potions and stuff.
Oh, if you click on them,
If you click it, and then from there you can like drag the item to your inventory. I can't remember if you hit loot, you end up taking everything, but so I don't remember how that works, but I know you can drag and drop.
Does anybody want
Agatha.
the juggernaut potion?
Agatha would take the wand of summon animals if nobody wants it.
You're good. Does anybody want the juggernaut mutagen?
Nope, you can have it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have that. You can have that wand. I'll take that other wand. What is it? A wand of healing? I can't read it.
Yep, no,
I
that's
want to
it.
heal. Can you use it though?
Yeah, I can use
Does it have to be on your? Doesn't have to be on your spell list.
I think heal is on Sheppy's spell list.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
What's that other wand?
Yeah. The wand is summon animal, and Agatha already took it, or she hasn't taken it yet, but she's claimed it.
I gotcha.
I'll
There's
take the
still
Quicksilver
two
mutagen
potions.
if no one minds.
Trying to figure out how to
Sure.
take the wand.
If you have your character sheet open, you can like drag it to your inventory, and it should fall into place. But I think you might actually have to like drag it to your backpack.
Don't drag it to your token because it'll make a duplicate, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that. Here.
It was a long time ago I discovered that, so it might be changed now, but yeah,
Got it.
drag it to your character sheet.
Alright, and there's still another potion here. So anybody can take it. Althea is on watch. And I don't even know what it does, so.
Arthurian will take it and hand it to Althea. There, lass. We all got. Now here.
I don't know how I feel about consuming random things from deep underground that's been here for how many years. I think maybe you should hold on to it. And stop trying to distract me. I'm keeping an eye out here.
Alright, I'll hold it in my bag for you.
Alright, but don't think you have to hold on to it for me forever. It might come in handy for you, too. Not like I know what it does, but...
Now, Cassandra, initially when you came in here looking at that little weapons rack, you found like these sheathed sticks. They look like they were mimicking weapons, swords, like some type of training implement, but they're just sticks. They're pretty much rotted at this point, dry rotted.
Okay.
But you don't see anything else.
All right.
This was someone's personal training room. Let's go find out whose it be. Arthurian will step back out into the main hallway of the corridor. Sort of up with Althea, but giving everybody plenty of time to explore. Holy crap, look where I'm at!
Whoops. Let me put you in the darkness of the abyss.
Just yeeted right on up there for a minute, guys. My bad!
That was me. Okay. So you're out in the hallway once again after looking in that room and spending some time in there. Do you continue east? The corridor turns north about 20 feet from you, or about 15 feet from you, but also continues east and ends in what you can see as another doorway. According to Arthurian.
Should we go to the big door over there, or go to the big door in front of us?
So to the north, you see just 5 feet up this corridor ends at yet another door.
Let's check to the north.
We'll step to the north and inspect this door.
This door doesn't have a keyhole nor a lock.
Can we just open it?
Arthurian will try to open the door then.
Might as well, you were there already, Arthurian.
Yeah, might as well, haha! Arthurian's gonna look back to the others. I think that's the easiest door we're gonna get all day.
You see a large chamber ahead of you, Arthurian. The floor of this room contains several open square pits that descend into blackness. One in each of the 3 alcoves ahead to the north, and 2 larger pits in the middle. You can see them now, directly in front of you, the closest ones. They're big. Do you step further in?
I will. I'll step up to about here.
If you see something, duck. I'm going to drop a bomb.
A
Very
dais.
subtle.
A dais at the room's west end contains a stone throne with 2 rusty levers jutting from the floor next to it.
Investigate the throne. I'll keep watch.
Okay. Cassandra will cautiously approach the throne.
Agatha is going to make her way down towards the other end to look at the one spot on the ground.
Okay.
I'll take a. While they're doing that, I'll take a look at the center into the. I'm assuming the pools of water.
Let me move you around here. Thurian, this is where you were, right there. Behind you was Sheppy, which hasn't really stated what he was doing. Cassandra, you were heading off to the throne?
That's correct.
I'm going to put you right there. Althea, where were you going?
I'll go right here. But before I do, I'll mention to Arthurian, you don't look so well. If you're having stomach issues, maybe retching might help. While we look around the room, I think if you do it in the corner, nobody will see you if you're embarrassed about it.
Promise not to tell no one, lassie.
Never.
And then he's gonna retch right over into the pit.
Okay. Alright, since I'm looking around, I won't have my shield raised.
You get to about just in front of Arthurian. All of a sudden, leaping out from behind the throne, I will reveal this.
Alright, turn around, run.
Oh, great.
He looks very friendly.
And also on the opposite side to your right, you see another one of these bounding creatures leaping from the shadows as if they were hiding.
I'll stay up
perhaps
behind
not.
me. No.
Now, you can all put yourselves in the initiative tracker, I think. I'm still not sure if you can do that or if I have to do it. I just added Althea.
I was trying to put myself up there beside Arthurian before the creatures popped out.
You were last.
Sandra, I'll take the one on the right.
And I the left.
Right, you'll have to delete the extra instance of me because I beat you to it. Now there's 2 of me in the tracker.
Oh, I will re-roll that with the hero point.
So you guys can put yourself in the tracker?
Yeah, we can if we right click and click the sword and shield. So I'll wait until you delete one of them to roll. Actually. Oh, I was hoping that I could get rid of it myself, but never mind. Okay, that's good.
Wow, 33.
There goes my 20 of the game.
Wow.
At least it was well spent.
If I go first, yeah.
You are first. Just as you get between these two large pits on each side, just in front of Arthurian, he grabs your shoulder. Althea, wait! And then you hear these creatures crashing out from the shadows. Cassandra, you see immediately in front of you, right at the throne, you see one of these creatures. Let me show a picture here of what exactly you're seeing. Leaping out of the shadows.
What the hell?
It's hammer time.
All right, Althea,
Quite large.
what do you do?
Can I cast electric arc and target both of these? It says
They're
range
both
is
in
30
range.
feet.
If they're within
All
30
right.
feet of each other. If they're within 30 feet of either, I think it's you, not each other, but you.
Alright, well either way this is getting casted. They have to make a DC 21 basic reflex save. Or else take 15 points of electricity damage.
No save button? Oh, it's your damage.
There is one.
I was looking at the damage. All right, the one on the right, success. It's basic, so it takes half.
Yes.
So 8.
Yeah.
And then the one on the left. Lightning cracks the darkness, lighting up the room's walls. And let's make it save. Let's see if it can jump out of the way. Success. So it also takes, what I say, 8. All right. Assuming they're within 30 feet of you.
Yes, they're closer than that actually.
I don't think they have to be 30 feet within each other.
The text sounds like the electricity jumps from one to the next, but
As long as they're
The
both within your
mechanics?
range.
yeah, exactly. But the mechanics sound like as long as they're in my range.
You do
So
electricity
we'll
damage
just
of
say
1d4 to
from
your spell
both of
casting
my
ability.
hands, the electricity is channeled in the two directions. And with that, Althea steps around Arthurian and retreats to this space beside Sheppy.
Go ahead.
Thanks. That's what I've got.
Arthurian, you're a nice meaty target. Let's see. This creature begins bouncing along the floor towards you, right in front of Althea's. Just in time, Althea turns around after moving behind you. And it's going to be in your square. All right.
Okay.
Let me make a athletics check for this creature. Okay. Shoving the creature. Arthurian, you're shoved with a critical. If the shove fails, the bounce target square adjacent square target is choosing. Okay. So, since you are shoved, well, what's your DC? Fortitude DC.
Fortitude DC is 20.
So yeah, I got a critical success. It makes an athletics check against your fortitude DC as it leaps on top of you, attempting to shove you to the ground. So I got a critical success on that. You are pushed up to 10 feet away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you here. Cassandra, do you step out of the way? If you do so, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Sorry to interrupt, guys, but I have to go.
Are you coming
Yeah,
back?
I'll come back, but when my turn comes, just drop a flaming sphere in one of their squares, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you here. And as a reference, I want you to make a note that you're in the same square as Arthurian. You are flat-footed, so give yourself the flat-footed condition.
I'll be right back.
You're not confused. That's my mistake. Give yourself the flat-footed condition. No, what am I thinking? I could do it for you. There. You're actually in the same square as Arthurian.
Is that why I'm flat-footed?
Yes. And
Don't
okay.
feel bad, buddy. I'm flat-footed too.
So where were you? You were right there. So that's where the creature was. Now it doesn't follow up after you. So it's going to remain here. Basically pushed right into Arthurian, knocking him back into Cassandra, and you both fall back into this space here. You're not prone, or are you? I don't think you are. Yeah, I'm not going to make you prone. Okay? So you're actually in the same square, Arthurian square. Come on. Come on, I'm trying to make a +10 attack here. Let's go. I'm going to manually do this. 27 on Sheppy. His armor class is 20. Alright, so that's going to be normal damage.
I've returned.
It's not letting me roll dice. Okay, let me do this manually. You're going to take 12 points of piercing damage, Sheppy. And 3 points of persistent acid damage as its jaws clamp down on your shoulder blade and into your flesh, tearing at the goblin. His clothes are ripped and shredded right now. That's going to look horrible when he gets back to Atari. But the exposed flesh not only is punctured by these teeth, but acid on top of that. And that is persistent damage.
So I'm putting it in. What was it? Is it a set amount or like a D6?
D6.
D4? 1d6.
It's not letting me put this in the chat for some reason.
Actually, I think you have to do it because you have to add the DC to it. This way it'll automatically do it when it's his turn. You said that was an additional 3 damage?
Yes. 3 acid.
There we go.
Let me try this again. Nope, it's not letting me. I'm going to have to refresh my page again. Alright, then Sheppy is next. Alright, so you do that while I refresh.
It's not letting me add persistent damage, like the status effect. So we'll just have to remember
I'll write
the
it down.
rules for that one. But I think we all heard Sheppy, or at least we heard Jesse say that he wants that flaming sphere.
In the
for
middle.
this- Yeah, so we'll cast it at 2nd level for the sake of not using up all his 3rd level spells. And
Does he
You want
have
him
it
to
at
step
2nd level?
first?
what was that?
You want him to step first? I guess they have attack of opportunity.
What do you mean?
Well, if they have attack of opportunity, cast a spell next to them, wouldn't that trigger?
Yeah, it's a manipulate action.
Oh, I guess he did back up last time too. So he'll take a step backwards and cast this new sphere on the square of said creature here.
Success. Nothing. But we'll put that on the map once again, so we know where it is. Flaming sphere.
And Sheppy didn't refocus. I don't think.
He did.
Oh, I thought he did.
He
He
did.
did?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
said in
thought
the
so.
Discord chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was this session.
Okay, so there's a flaming
I-
sphere there.
Yes, on the same square as this guy. Well, then he'll use his toss and cast that. And he he got 26 in total.
22, so that's a hit. Any save? No.
Nope. That was 22 damage.
And this is fire. Wow.
Correct.
Okay. Is he done?
Yes, he is.
Okay, the one up by the throne takes action. Now it's gonna bounce over to this position right here, not in the square with both of you. 1 to 6, Cassandra. 1 to 6. Guess a number or pick a number.
2.
It attempts to clamp down on your exposed flesh, Cassandra, with its jaws. Oh no. Wish I had villain points. This game would be so much funner. It attempts to do so again. 21 is enough to clamp down on you. You're going to take some damage. All right, there it is. Now I can see that 1d6 persistent damage. All right, you take 8 points of piercing and 1d6 persistent acid damage, which equals... Why is it not telling me?
You rolled it once and it was 2. Then you rolled it again for some reason and it's 4.
How come I don't see it? Where does it say 2 and 4?
Oh, I just saw the roll of the
Oh.
die go across the floor.
Yeah, I don't see the result, but I do see that you did it twice.
If you're looking at the screen, you see the die go. And yeah, see there, 1. Oh, there, okay.
All right, so what I have to do is drag that to the target. If you look at your token, you'll see it. It has the marker there. Persistent damage, 1d6. And you took 1 this time. All right. Okay. And Agatha, you're up. I guess that automatically rolls the damage?
I guess so. It would be like Foundry to be that helpful.
You are now can help you recover with a 2-action activity, allowing you to attempt an additional flat check immediately to get rid of the persistent damage. It's a DC 15 flat check to recover.
Oh,
You do
see, that's what I was trying to add to Sheppy, but it never I couldn't add it.
I just drugged
he's
the
supposed-
thing to his token.
Let me just... What thing?
It's a little maroon colored thing. That's what I drugged to him. What was it that Cat put on him? I'll put it back in the chat. Agatha, you're up.
All right. Agatha is gonna move over.
Athiga? Wow.
Sorry, tongue-tied. Agatha is going to move 1 space to her right.
Five-foot step.
And then seeing the creature diagonal to her, that's also diagonal to Arthurian and straight ahead of Cassandra, she's going to cast Ray of Frost on it.
Okay, put it in the chat. You blast an icy ray towards the villainous creature. Make a spell attack roll. The ray deals cold damage equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability. .28, that's going to hit. It's not critical. So what's your damage? 10?
Yep.
Minus 10. Let me check this creature out real quick. It's being hit with fire and ice.
And that'll
Okay.
be the end of my turn.
Okay. Cassandra, you're up. Now remember, you're in the same square as Arthurian. You want to get out of there.
Sorry, I was on mute. I'll step to the left, so basically where her token actually is right now.
Okay.
Since I'm not in Arthurian Square anymore, I'm assuming that'll take off the flat-footed.
Exactly. Take it off.
And then I will go into Tiger Stance.
Okay.
So our hands become almost as claws.
You drag that to your token.
Yep.
Awesome.
And now I will do Flurry of Blows. $21.
21 misses. 16 misses.
Jeez.
Any hero
Alright,
points?
end of turn.
Alright, before you do that, take your 1d6 damage, unless it does it automatically. I'm going to say it does.
Look, I already took the one, so
Yeah, that was when you were attacked. This is at the end of every one of your turns. You're going to take 1d6 persistent damage. And after that's applied, you're going to make a DC 15 flat check to see if it goes away.
alright, so I'll just roll a d6 now.
I think you just have to go to the next turn and it does it automatically in the chat log.
I think so.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, so take a look at your hit points now and then go to the next turn.
All right.
Okay.
And then
And
we'll
see
let
if
you
it
make your
changes.
check before Arthurian does anything.
The flat check.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
That
Yeah.
rolled. There you
That's
go.
so cool.
Now you
All right,
make your
so-
d20 flat check. You need a 15 or greater to get rid of that. Yeah, that is cool. Ah, you got rid of it.
Alright. No more ongoing acid.
Excellent.
Alright.
All right,
Such a
Arthurian.
great BTT.
Yeah, it is really. They're always adding new stuff to it.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with it.
Yeah, and
Always
this,
a patch moving in there somewhere.
yeah, and this used to be a module, and then they just integrated it anyways, so kind of made it better, less things to keep track of module-wise.
20.
I'm gonna take a 5-foot step, move closer, and I'm going to hit, smack it.
Is that 25 your attack?
Yep.
That's a hit. Damage normal.
Be 12 points of bludgeoning damage. We're gonna try it again. 18.
That's gonna be a miss.
That's gonna be it from me.
Okay. Things are getting critical here. Althea, you're up. These creatures are bouncing all over the place, shoving people around near deep holes. What do you do, Althea?
She's going to cast Electric Arc again. So they'll have to make that basic reflex save.
Success. What's the damage? 13, so 7.
Yeah, and that was targeting both because they're both in range.
failure, so it takes 13. Okay.
And she's going to take a 5-foot step to get even. Actually, can I move here from this corner?
With a 5 foot?
Yeah,
That's a hard corner. But I'll let you.
I see half of it. Thank you.
Schlink. You are a gnome.
Oh, you know what? Okay. No.
Get that off there. I'll do it. There you go. All right, you're done.
She sucks in any belly fat to stay as far away from the creature as possible and cuts through.
I imagine she has her backs in front of her hands against the wall pressed, and she's slithering around the corner on the other side, just looking to her left. What's going on?
Yes. Keeping her eyes focused on the creature.
This creature takes a 5-foot step as well. Didn't have to, but it jumps on top of you, attempting to shove you, Arthurian. It's going to make an athletics check against your DC there. This is a shove like we did before. What is your fortitude DC?
20.
Okay, let's see what he gets.
Oh, I had a question.
23.
When we first went into this room, and Arthurian did say he was retching in the corner.
Oh,
Is
yes,
he
I
still
did.
sickened?
Yeah, before combat broke out.
You have to retch to get rid of it. And that's a fortitude save to attempt it. You want to attempt that fortitude save?
Yeah, 'cause that's what I was doing, and then these guys came out to woodwork.
All right, do that now.
$22.
That is a success. So you don't have that. Will that change your fortitude save?
Let me look here. It actually does 22.
22. It's still a failure. You push your opponent back 5 feet. You can stride after it, but you must move the same distance and in the same direction. Does not do so. You're going to be pushed back into the hole 5 feet. You do get a check to grab the edge. Otherwise, you're going to plummet into this dark pit, Arthurian.
Alrighty.
Let me move you into the pit. Let me open this. Grab an edge. You must succeed at a reflex save.
$25.
You grab the edge. So essentially what happened is this creature got between you and Sheppy, and it just leapt into the air and crashed down upon you, shoving you backwards in the direction of this hole. Now, you're grabbing the edge. Now, do you have a shield strapped to your arm?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm using the two-handed ball.
All right, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna roll d6. I'm not going to tell you the number I'm after, but you'll see the roll.
I did have a question. Is shove a manipulate trait?
Shove is an attack.
Okay.
And you did the 5-foot step. Okay. You're grabbing the edge as you fall into this blackness. You release your one hand from your axe or your hammer. Or is it the maul?
Yeah, it's the maul.
Well, you're always swapping weapons on me. You still have the maul in your other hand. With one hand, you are dangling on this ledge, but you still have your weapon in your hand. All right? What you'll want to do now is climb up that ledge. Hopefully, it won't fall in.
Because all you guys see is just Arthurian double fall into the pit.
And Cassandra?
All right.
Well, not yet. Hold on. This is
you're
a target.
I'm target.
You are the target of a 28.
It's a hit.
All right, it spits at you. This acidic saliva rushes from its mouth in your direction. 28, and your armor class is 23. So it's going to be normal damage. 5 points of acid damage. 1 point of damage I'm going to put on the other creature, which it's immune to. Well, I shouldn't say that. But you do have also 1d6 persistent damage. And I'm going to drag that to your sheet. And it should give you 4 points right off the bat of additional damage.
Yeah.
All right. And that's it. He's done. Goes to Sheppy. Well, the acid is flying. As Arthurian dangles from the edge. This is awesome. Now, Sheppy has that sphere. He has to sustain that or it's going to go away.
Yep.
So you're going to move that in there for one action?
Yes. Sheppy's going to sustain that spell and
Put that in the chat again.
put it right into its space.
Can you put that in the chat again?
Yeah. Just trying to find it. He's got a lot of spells.
Hey, he does.
There you go.
Failure. So it takes your damage. Fire. And with that, not quite, but it's looking bad. It's limping on one leg. It's not as bouncy as it was before. Need 2 more actions. As it's engulfed in flames. Briefly.
He
Produce
will...
flame.
Wow, you read my mind. I'm not even streaming anymore. How'd you know? With a 22.
Produce flame. That is going to hit. Just hits it.
12 fire damage.
And describe how you engulf this thing in fire. And destroy it.
Flaming sphere's not enough. Needs more fire. Right from his hands. He does as he wishes and creates more fire. Completely engulfing it. Including the sphere that's already there. It's
Yes.
just fire and more fire.
As
Until
Arthurian
it burns
screams.
into a crisp. Its skin dries up. Arthurian's getting a little toasty.
Not the beard again! I'm still here!
As you hold on for dear life, Arthurian, you hear the fire erupt right above you. Your fingers begin to feel the heat and you dangle and sway. And all of a sudden, the carcass of this creature just falls on top and over top of you. It doesn't, no checks required, but it just falls into the pit over top of you. It is gone and it disappears. And as it does so, flaming its way down to the bottom, you hear a splash in the distance.
I did want to point out that it is 10:23 and
That is, I know.
it is close.
We're gonna
But
finish this round.
That is the end of Sheppy's turn.
We're gonna finish this round, and once again, we're gonna end the session at a combat once again, and we won't see Rachel for another 2 weeks. You'll never know what happened. Terrible.
I'll come back all tanned and none of
Yeah.
you will even see it.
Well, we'll finish this
Or
round.
more like sunburned.
Yeah.
What is the DC to get rid of the acid poison or the persistent damage? Because it's going to take that damage once we go to the next player, but I want to know what I got to roll.
DC 15, unless somebody helps you. So let's see what happens here.
And it's fortitude?
It's a flat check. DC 15.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, Sheppy would like to use a hero point if this does not succeed.
Oof.
I did reroll using hero point. Oof.
Wow. All right, so it still persists.
Yes, it does.
It attempts to clamp down on you once again, Cassandra, with a 19. It does not. Attempts to clamp down on you as well, Althea. It does not. Agatha. Hiding in the shadows. You're up, Agatha.
I do have a question. If I were to try and cast the one cantrip, it's Tangles. Tanglefoot, and I cast it in a square next to Arthurian. Is it possible I can try to attempt to pull him out of that pit?
He's dangling by one hand on the edge. You could just make out his fingertips and hear him grunting and moaning. The creature fell right over top of him, but you can still see his hand. If you want to move over to the edge and try and pull him up, you can do so.
Okay.
Don't mind the sphere.
She'll move right there, and she'll reach out a hand to him, and...
Actually, it should be there because that's where his hand is.
Okay.
It's okay.
She's gonna reach out a hand to him, and she's going to attempt to pull him up.
All right, you're going to make an athletics check. It's going to be a pretty high DC to beat, to be able to grab his wrist and forearm and pull him up. This won't interfere with him. He's still holding on. If you can't do it, he's still holding. You just can't budge. You can try again.
I will attempt to try again.
Do you want to hear a point, Dad?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you better.
Good. I wonder how deep the water below is, or how far below it is.
Now, Arthurian, you begin to feel her lift you up. You're starting to pull. You might be able to reach up with your other arm and swing your elbow up, or you can continue to hold on. You feel like you might be able to swing your arm up. There's a chance. It will require a roll. Athletics to do it.
I'll do it.
All right, make an athletics roll. DC is in my head.
19.
You pull yourself up. You get your arm holding the maul up on top, and you got both arms now up on the edge. Now, give me one more athletics check, Arthurian, to see if you can pull yourself up. I'm letting you do this now instead of in your turn.
22.
22. All right. During your turn, you pull yourself up. I jumped the gun a little bit, but yeah. Okay. So, Agatha, you're helping him pull him up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're done. Cassandra, you see the dwarf being lifted out from the hole at this point. He's almost out. But you're up. What do you do? There's one of these creatures left.
I will move to flank it with Althea.
Okay. Definitely moving behind Agatha.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I will flurry of blows. Hands in tiger claw formation, trying to just rip it apart.
Do you keep your fingernails long and sharp?
It's 21, but it's flat-footed, so maybe that hits.
Just hits. That flat-footed did it for you.
Right. And the second one. Right, so
They both hit.
so a total of 17 damage.
S- 14 plus
11 and 6, 17.
Okay.
And it has to make a saving throw or be stunned.
Oh, it's your total damage. Okay, savings throw. Fortitude.
Yeah.
As it tries to resist.
It does. I know you're not really supposed to do this, but I'll do my one last attack on it since it's
Go for it.
flat-footed. I might hit.
Go for it. Try and catch it with a knee.
Nope.
Oh.
Nothing.
Nope, you slam yourself in the jaw. Oh. All right, so. Finally, we're going to get to Arthurian. First thing you do is you pull yourself up. No athletics check required. You are in the same square as Agatha. You're both considered flat-footed at this point. But I'll assume you move out of there. You got 2 actions remaining. Right now you're in the square with
Same
Agatha.
Square as her. Okay. I'm gonna move over
Okay.
here.
Got 1 action left.
I'm going to attempt to shove the creature into the pit.
You are. Okay, that's an athletics against his fortitude. Is it fortitude? Fortitude DC? Wasn't that what I was asking you?
Yes, sir.
I think so. Beat a 23.
32.
Oof. Almost a critical success. 5 feet. You push it. You can follow up after him if you want.
Nope. It's going on a one-way trip.
All right. You have to be in the same square, which is right there. And with a screech, you push it off the edge. And a moment passes as it disappears into the darkness below. You can see this with your dark vision. You see it splash into the water some 40 feet. However, right after the flash, you can see it, this large, long head come up out of the water. It looks like some type of serpent-like, almost dragon-like features on its head. But wait, there's more. A second head protrudes from its shoulders, and possibly more. A multi-headed creature lies below, Arthur, and it begins to peer around as it looks up in your direction. You lock eyes with this beast. And then suddenly the heads descend as quick as lightning into the water to feed on the carcass of the creature. You see...
Well, you beastie.
Do you continue watching?
Oh, yeah.
You see it disappear from sight, and it pulls the body under the water. You see the water begin to move heavily back and forth where it had disappeared, and suddenly you see rising to the surface bits of green flesh, as if the creature was torn apart. Bubbles follow. There was
Well, you
silence.
don't want to go down there. There's a multi-headed thingy-majigger down there, and it looks quite nasty. It just locked eyes on me. I ain't gonna lie, lads and ladies. It kind of scared me there for a bit. Kind of scared me. Kind of put the fear into me. I think I need to hide behind somebody's loincloth. I can know where you at.
Awesome. All right. That was great. We're going to end the session here. Folks, I'm glad you can watch us tonight. It was a good session. We had a lot of good combat, and there's a lot of good stuff coming in this level of the dungeon. This is fun. I'm excited about this level. I'm sure my players are going to love it. I know I am. Folks, we're going to do our outros now before everybody goes. And let's start with Althea. Rachel.
Well, it's been fun. I'm glad that we survived the way we did in the battle that began this session. That was fantastic. Getting through that felt really good. And then this also felt really good. Each triumph... I've got nothing.
Each triumph, that'll do it.
Each triumph it makes me very proud, and I enjoy the team I'm with. I know that we've definitely worked well together, and this session really proved that. And with that, I hope you all have a good night. I will miss you all, and see you in a few weeks.
And you're coming back on... well, after 2 weeks. You're going to be out the next 2 Sundays.
Yes, I will see you mid-March.
Yeah, how do you like that? Fantastic. Well, thanks, Rachel. Glad you could make it for this one session. And I think we all had a good time playing.
You're awesome as well, Miss Rachel.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Have a good one. We'll
Oh,
see you on the
thanks,
flip.
Yeah,
Where you
I'll
headed
I'll
anyway?
stick around to hear all of your goodbyes.
You will.
And then I'll head up.
How about you, Eric? What'd you think about tonight?
It was good. I love the part in the game where I never know what the monsters are, even after having played RPGs for, over 20 years. It makes it feel new again. I'm loving that part. The interaction between all the characters is good. I think we're learning how to fight more as a team. That's also great. So yeah, I had a good time tonight.
And it's organic. Yeah, we're glad to have you, Eric, here, adding a new twist to things with the monk. I love the monk. Yeah. So
I wish I
thanks.
rolled better. That'd be one thing. I wish I rolled better.
Yeah, it happens.
Welcome to my life for the past 8 months. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Just welcome to my life for the past 8 months.
Yes,
Of
Eric.
sucky ass rolls.
Everybody here understands.
Yes, we do. Even I do. And Kyle, what do you think? We just got a taste of it. What's going on?
Got a taste of it there. Had to work over unfortunately. Got 2 new systems and a lot going on, and pretty beat up IRL, but we're sucking it up. I've only missed 1 session officially. Not about to miss any more, but yeah, I had a lot of fun. Get to actually play with a fighter at 5th level stats where they should be, and team gels so well. And I especially love the poignant little moments between Arthurian and Sheppy and Althea and Cassandra, and the new person Agatha. She's kind of finding her own way into this.
She saved your character. She saved Arthurian.
She saved my bacon tonight.
She did.
So, really loving the interactions with everybody. We're becoming more of a team instead of, sort of just going about it willy-nilly how we were doing before. We're really sort of piecemealing this level out 1 room at a time. But he's jiving real well. We got some new monsters that we haven't encountered, i.e. these monsters here, and then we got some monsters that we have encountered before that Althea wishes were probably not in the rule book or in the monster manual, I should say, but they're a fun little challenge, and yeah, having a blast with it. All's coming in clutch.
Yeah, that was awesome. This was a good combat. I liked it. All right, thanks for that, Kyle. Then we've got Agatha. Dizzy, what'd you think tonight?
Definitely had a lot of fun.
Yes.
For a second, I thought she was not going to be able to pull up Arthurian. I was like, oh no, we're going to reroll that one. But
that was a close one.
definitely,
That would have been bad.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah,
kicks me
that-
off the ledge, and then yeah.
yeah, that would have been bad. Then everybody looks at her, and that'd be like, well, I'm going to be going over the edge soon then. But it was definitely a lot of fun tonight. And as a side note, I would like to add, make sure you like and subscribe to his YouTube channel so you can see more amazing content.
Yeah. Thanks, Dizzy. And I'm also curious how Arthurian's gonna think back on that, because he was pretty much saved there. Holding by 1 hand, she helped you pull up. So that was the thing.
I just had a
Arthurian
feeling.
will hug the lassie.
Yeah.
I just had this feeling in the back of my head that if she lost his grip and he fell down, I'm pretty sure that the rest of the group would just come over and just throw her down the well.
Yay! No, but yeah, Arthurian will definitely give her a thank you hug, just as he does to everybody that saves him.
That was
Just
very
everybody
heroic.
at this point. So
I think at one point we've all saved each other.
yep. So
Pineapple.
this is now the hugging team. This is the party name. We're called the Huggers.
Okay, come on. That's
That's
enough.
official.
I'm gonna have a big
With the
hugging
mayor
circle
and
here in a minute.
everything.
Oh, I don't care about the mayor. It's just a party-based thing,
Sheppy, Jesse,
I don't mind.
Yep.
what do you think, Jesse?
Hey guys, great session. We definitely are gelling. It's great to see, and I see we survived the last encounter here. I kind of missed it, but
Oh, it was a
I'm
good one.
Right,
glad to see
you-
everybody still standing upright.
Your flaming sphere was very handy.
Yeah, I fell into the pit.
Okay.
Not related to the flaming sphere. He just that was something
Okay.
different.
I was like, geez, I didn't do that, did I?
I was trying to add that dramatic flair there, Sheppy. It built.
You killed it with fire and decided it needed more fire.
Yeah.
Did you see the part where
Barbecue.
did you see the part where Arthurian got his revenge on the other one and he shoved him into the black pit? That was pretty cool.
300 style.
Yeah, pretty
Pretty
much.
much.
All right, well, thanks, Jesse, for playing. You going to be with us tomorrow or what? Or not tomorrow, next Sunday? Because I know you're kind of...
It's up in the air. I'll let you know.
Brother. Well, one other thing before we close, I do have some plans for some one-shots we might be running in the next 2 weeks, because I want all my players in on this particular campaign as much as possible. And Kyle might be running a one-shot. I might run a one-shot. It also gives me time to update the campaign a little bit, because it's in need of a little updating. We're in the Chapter 5 now, which is closing in the middle of the campaign. So I'm going to go back and look at some things and tighten it up here and there and so on and so forth. It'd be nice to have a little bit of time to do that. So we might be doing that next Sunday. We'll see. So yeah, that's our presentation tonight, folks. And we'll see you next Sunday for sure. So folks, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you again. Hang in there, because it's only going to get better. And you know it. Talk to you soon. Like, share, subscribe, and all that other good love and stuff. Talk to you soon.